Hi, welcome to introductory video on remote laboratory system at Siddhganga Institute of Technology, the Department of Telecommunication Engineering. So this introductory video we will see the working of CE amplifier, that is common emitter amplifier. So to start the remote access, okay, we'll click over here. So since we are looking for a CE amplifier, let us select the amplifiers. In these amplifiers, okay, let us select the CE amplifier. So CE amplifier has got 16 different variations. Let us select CE1. So here comes the details of the circuit diagram, what is being used in this remote lab, and we have the set of equations, the theory equations for this particular lab, and we have all 16 different combinations, okay, how they are what values of biasing resistors and capacitors have been used for different configurations starting from CE1 to CE16. This is what is the details. Now since CE1 is selected, so the corresponding values of RC, RE dash, R2 and CC are specified here. If I say conduct, this particular combination will be invoked in that remote lab and we'll get the response of it. So let me say conduct. The required waveforms application and applying the input voltage and observing the output waveform will be done using waveform. So this is the waveform editor. So let me minimize the screen. Okay, this is a waveform application of analog discovery. So we will invoke WaveGen to apply the input voltage. So this WaveGen will actually give the signal generator which is used to apply the sine wave. So you can see using channel 1 we are applying 20 kilohertz sine wave of amplitude 1 volt. So if I say run, it will be applied. So let me also take a scope to observe the waveforms. Scope will going to give, we shall apply a sine wave of 20 kilohertz with a frequency of 20 kilohertz and amplitude of 100 millivolt. So we'll observe the waveforms in the scope. This is the waveform what we are having. So you can see now this is channel 2 is the output waveform and channel 1 is the input waveform. You can see we are getting a better response. We are getting the output voltage in channel 2. So we can actually measure the voltages over here. So we'll go to view. Okay, using measuring option we can able to measure the average voltage of C2, which will indicate the collector voltage, DC collector voltage, and we can measure peak to peak amplitude of the output voltage, and of course we can see the frequency is almost 20 kilohertz, which is same as applied signal. We can certainly see the output voltage is out of the input voltage, so that you can clearly make out from this. So we'll make it here you can observe the output voltage is out of phase with the input voltage, but you can see the output voltage peak to peak is 1.35 volts with an average voltage of 3.69 volts. So the input voltage is typically, of course we applied 100 millivolt peak, so it's actually 200 millivolt peak to peak. We can see the output voltage amplified, so we can actually find out what is the gain of this amplifier for the selected combination of biasing resistors. So user has got the option of changing this value of R and C's going to different combination of R and C's, that there are 16 different combinations. Okay, this is the time response of the system. We can also find the frequency response of this amplifier by selecting the network option and sweeping the frequency from a very low frequency of 100 Hz to almost 10 megahertz. We'll do that. Yeah, this is the frequency response of the CE amplifier for C1 option. So let us observe the settings that we have made. The starting frequency should be 50 Hz. The stop frequency can be 10 megahertz. The top of the magnitude response, it can be 30 dB. The rate it be 60 dB. The amplitude is 100 millivolt. Upon doing all these things, we will get this frequency response. So using cursors at appropriate points, we can actually find out what is the mid-band gain and the bandwidth, and even we can find out what is the phase margin and gain margin of the system. We will do that. The cursor one is placed in the midband frequency, has got a gain of 16.20. The frequency is 13 kilohertz. The other two delta cursors, 2 delta 1 and 3 delta 1, are actually 3 dB down. The corresponding frequencies are 340 Hz and then 1.11 megahertz. So the bandwidth of the amplifier is almost close to 1.1 megahertz. So this way we can able to find out what is the bandwidth of the amplifier. Of course, by multiplying the gain and the bandwidth, we can actually find out what is the gain bit product. So we can also find out what is the gain margin of the system, the phase margin of the system also. The gain crossover frequency of this amplifier is almost close to 5.37 megahertz. The corresponding phase is 37.71 degrees. So the phase margin of this particular amplifier is close to 37.71 degrees. In this remote lab, we have the option of changing the component values. So let us change the option of users option and change the value of RC from 2.2K to 1K. Then see what is the effect of that on the frequency response. So I'm changing it to CE2, which corresponds to RC of 1K, keeping all of the parameters constant. I will run this now. So let me also run the Bode plot of this and then try to see what is the response. If you can see now, this is a frequency response of a different values of value of R. You can see the gain has increased from 16 dB to 20 dB. So naturally you can see the 2 delta 1 indicates the lower cutoff frequency, and this 3 delta 1 indicates the higher cutoff frequency. Now the higher cutoff frequency has reduced from 1.1 megahertz to 353.8 kilohertz. Because there is an increase in the gain. So when the gain of the amplifier increases, naturally the bandwidth will reduce. So this is an indication of how does the gain bandwidth product will remain constant. So we will also see what is the impact of the coupling capacitor on the frequency response in the next. Frequency response of the amplifier with C coupling capacitor is equal to 0.1 microfarad. We change it to 0.01 microfarad and see what is the frequency response. This is a resultant frequency response with the value of coupling capacitor reduced by 10 times. If you can observe the lower cutoff frequency of this particular amplifier, the frequency has increased from almost 340 Hz to 3.71 kilohertz, which is an indication of impact of changing the coupling capacitance value from 0.1 to 0.01 microfarad. You can also observe that the midband gain almost remains at 20 dB. Now you can see it's almost 19.85 dB. So this way we can able to observe the impact of the component on the circuit working. Suppose by mistake if a student gives the input amplitude as something like 1 volt and then start doing the simulation, I can see we made it 1 volt, and then if I run the simulation, now I'll not get a proper response because the output will be get clipped off. So we will see what will be the response of the system for 1 volt amplitude. Because output will be clipped off, we are not supposed to get a proper response. Okay, this is the frequency response of the same amplifier by just changing the input amplitude from 100 millivolt to 1 volt. You can see the gain was actually 19.87 dB, has reduced to 8.56 dB. It is not the actual gain of the amplifier because whatever gain that we are getting is because of the clipped off output waveform. So this way student may make a mistake while selecting the input amplitude for an amplifier. To get a proper frequency response or the proper response of the amplifier, we are supposed to give an appropriate input amplitude, especially in this case it should be lesser in magnitude.